This video is dedicated to the beginner, and there's going to be two types of beginner that I'm going to be talking to. I've got you over there, you own a car, and you want to begin detailing your own car. And then there's you over there who is a person that wants to start your own detailing business. But you find day after day goes by and you fail to begin. Why is that? Is because you are not being honest with yourself, and there's a fear component at play that prevents you specifically, guy, person, girl, from starting your own detailing business because you think that you're just not ready for it. You don't have all the necessary tools and you're overwhelmed. You bounce onto YouTube and you listen to 1,000 different experts, YouTube detailers, and they overwhelm you with the endless choices, the endless products, the endless tools, the endless techniques, and you're just overwhelmed. And you find day after day goes by and you want to start your detailing business, but you just don't do it. And there's you, guy over there, that owns your own car, and day after day you get in your car and it's becoming progressively dirtier. And you think, damn, I need to do something about this. I'm pretty sure I can do something about this, but yet day after day goes by and I do nothing about this. I fail to begin. And I empathize with you. I sympathize with you also. You know why? Because the industry is so complex and convoluted, endless voices, endless choices. They're all going to tell you the best way to do it, the best product, the best tool, the best technique. Well, tell you what, I've got some really good news for you. I'm going to show you when I started my detailing business back in 1988. Wow, yes, I am that old. 1988, do the math. You know what I had when I started? And by the way, this is well before the internet, well before the resources that you have due to modern day technology. There was no University of YouTube. Yes, it can overwhelm the brain, but yes, it's very useful and very helpful. I had no online resources. There was no local training. There was no training whatsoever. There was no other detailers I could really compare notes with and get some tips from. Yes, they were out there. Yes, I saw them in my travels, but normally when I saw them working, it was me traveling to a place that I had to be. So I couldn't just pull over and ask them questions. Literally, I had to fake it till I made it. I had to learn on the job. But to answer that question, what did I start with? One cleaner, one scrub brush, and a cloth. And by the way, it wasn't even a microfiber cloth. They are superior in every way to old school 100% cotton cloths. When I grew up, or when I started detailing, the go-to cloth, for example, when you were waxing, was a baby diaper. I don't even know if you can get those today. Or when you're shampooing the inside of an interior, it was a cloth, terry cloth, and it left all kinds of lint everywhere, and it was doable. It got the job done, but it was far inferior to a microfiber cloth. So let's just pretend I had a terry cloth towel with me, which I can't even find in my household, because regardless of the chore I'm doing, I'm always going to resort to some type of microfiber cloth. So I had a cleaner. It was an all-purpose cleaner. I had one scrub brush, and I had some type of dusting brush. It was totally inferior to what you have today, but that's all I had. Oh, wait for it. I had a fourth tool, which was a toothbrush. This was my down and dirty detailing brush. So literally, if you took one product, and I'm going to call these 4 tools. Yes, this is a tool. It is very versatile as a tool. It's absorbent. It mops up dirty liquids and dirty dirt as you're cleaning. It can be folded or configured into endless varieties based on what you're trying to clean. For example, I can use an edge like this to clean in tight crevices. I can even wedge it into little vents to clean vents. I can use it to mop up big areas of the upholstery or the floor mat or the dashboard. So yes, this in fact is a tool. Never mind these. So the point is you start with the large and you work your way down. Large, medium, and small. It's all about the details. Which I could come full circle in the moment and say, why are you not starting? There literally is no excuse, and hopefully this video will help you get started. Get you off of the sideline, out onto the field, and start playing. I promise you, you will have success. Will you know everything? Of course you won't. But that's one of the beauties of detailing. Whether you're the car owner or you're the fresh into the business person, is that you can adapt, you can adjust, you can learn as you go. You will get more and more tools. Now you might be asking yourself at this point in time, Darren, why do you have all these tools laid out in front of you? Are you trying to overwhelm my brain? Are you trying to prevent me from starting, cleaning my own car or starting my own business? No, I'm trying to illustrate an example. So this would be the extreme, and this represents pretty much 99% of all the tools I used as my interior detailing kit. It's not everything, but it's most of everything. But that's not what you need to start. You literally just need to start. For example, when I have mentored or trained or tutored a car owner, and I said, dude, seriously, grab yourself a scrub brush, grab yourself a microfiber cloth, pretend that you don't even have a cleaner, a basic cleaner. Guess what is very effective? In fact, it's nature's most prolific solvent. And by solvent, I mean cleaner. It's called water, literally water. You could spray any material within your car, and in my head, I cannot think of a single material that water would not be safe on. The point is you could start with water and you could pre-vacuum any, what I would call, porous material. For example, the carpeting, the floor mats, or let's say you've got cloth upholstery, cloth seating of some kind. You pre-vacuum it. Why? Because you always want to remove the dry, loose dirt before you insert or apply any liquids to the equation. So think if you just plunge your hands into a big pot of potting soil or dirt out in the garden. And now you pull your hand out and it's got all kinds of dirt on it. Now, would you take a cleaner and just immediately start spraying? No, you wouldn't. I mean, you might, but I wouldn't. You know why? Because when you combine liquid with that dirt, the bulk dirt, it's going to start creating a big, sloppy, muddy mess. Therefore, it would make sense to brush off your hand so that you remove the bulk, dry material first, because it would be easiest to do that first. That's where vacuuming comes in. So you vacuum first. And by the way, if you were literally to take a scrub brush, and let's say you've got a dirty ass floor mat, and you just scrubbed it with a scrub brush dry, you didn't introduce any type of liquid whatsoever, and you just vacuumed. I think that alone, if you have never touched your car and you've never done any kind of detailing at all, you'll be surprised at how much cleaner you can get your floor mat just doing that. But let's just add a second component called water. Because you can't find any type of cleaner lying around the house. You don't want to bounce on the Amazon and wait for it to arrive, even though it'll come in 2 days. You don't want to run to Track Auto or AutoZone and find some, well, actually be overwhelmed by the big array of upholstery cleaners. So you just reach for some water and you start scrubbing. So you pre-vacuum. You remove the loose, dry dirt first, and now you spray it with some water. You don't saturate it. You don't submerge it with water. You just lightly spray it in a sprayer, and you scrub, and then you mop up with your cloth, and you're like, whoa, that's a lot of dirt that's coming up on my cloth. But then you're like, whoa, my floor mat looks so much better, and I just did one application. Well, guess what? Now you go in with a second, third, or fourth application where you lightly mist it, or lightly spray it, you scrub it, you mop it up, and it becomes progressively cleaner, because now what you're doing is you're taking the dirt from that floor mat and you're transferring it to this microfiber cloth more and more and more each time you do it. And you're like, wow, I like this. I like the results that I'm getting. I didn't know it could be this simple. This whole time I've been overwhelmed by watching video after video on YouTube. I go onto Amazon, there's endless reviews, endless products, endless suggestions for me, and my brain, it literally just wants to melt. And for you, beginner guy or girl that wants to start your own business, the same applies to you. Once again, when I started, I had 4 tools, 1 product, and yes, I made money. I charged, wait for it, $40 to do a complete detail on a car. That included both the outside and the inside. And you know what? Back then, 30 plus years ago, don't make me do the math. We are in 2024. I started in 1988. So do the math for me. I'm pretty sure it's over 35 years. Yes, we have this thing called inflation. Would I even touch a car for $40? No, I would not. But that was back then. And I spent approximately 2.5 hours. Not sure how I did it. Well, I kind of know. I kind of know that I just really didn't know what I was doing, but I did know that I could improve it. I did know that. And I did know that I could deliver value for that $40. And I did. You know how I know that? Because my customer was super happy. She was very, very happy. In fact, she was so happy, she smiled, she came out and she was like, wow, it looks so great, Darren. You did a great job. I didn't think it could look that good. That's how I knew she was happy. That's how I knew that there was some potential here. That's how I knew that if I could do it once, chances are I could do it a second time, which then became a third and a fourth and a fifth, and fast forward the clock to today, and guess what? It works. And you don't need to know everything. You don't have to have this extensive array of products or tools. You don't need any specialized techniques to get started. You know, the most important thing, either one of you, is literally just get started. I can assure you, you will be surprised. I can assure you, if there's some kind of fear that's holding you back, or just overwhelm that's holding you back, you will overcome that by doing it, and you will see your results, and you'll be like, wow, why didn't I start sooner? Literally, that will be your takeaways. Why didn't I start sooner? And I've played that game in my life. Well, pretty much everything I've done, I wished I had started sooner. Not everything, but most everything. Whether it was starting my YouTube channel, starting my detailing business, starting to work out, I don't care what it was. It's like, why did I not start sooner? That's called regret. That can last a lifetime. But if you fail, or let's say you're not as successful as you want to be, or you haven't produced the results that you wanted to be, you know what that's called? That's called a learning curve. That's not failure. That's just a learning curve. That's the world feeding you some information so that you can choose an appropriate response. Okay, I didn't get the results I wanted. I'm going to learn more, but I'm going to keep going. But damn, I am sure glad I got started. So in 2,233 words or less, that's my lesson for you, beginner people, today.